The divorce rate for parents with multiples is 75 to 80%. That little factoid ran through my head as I stared at the ultrasound screen, my ovary with 2, possibly 3 mature follicles staring back at me. I had no idea where I'd heard it, or even if it was true, but right then, with the vaginal ultrasound probe in my hoo-ha and my ovary on screen, that's what I thought. Just because there are 2, maybe 3 mature follicles, does that mean they will all get released and fertilized? I asked the doctor as he removed the ultrasound probe. Having a baby was not supposed to be this complicated. Babies were made by getting drunk one night, forgetting to use a condom, and 9 months later, you're a parent. But it wasn't that easy for me. I was broken. Even though we had Hayden, the treatment supposedly failed. The doctors weren't sure how I got pregnant with him, but there he was, a happy, healthy, 18-month-old little boy. Hayden was a blessing, but I wanted more. Sometimes I felt selfish because I just should be happy with what I had, but I couldn't. Correct, he stated. There's only a 30% chance that one will become fertilized, but you don't have to give yourself the injection that will release the egg. You can skip this cycle and try again next month and hope for just one. I didn't want to skip this month. I wanted to give myself the damn injection and just get pregnant. It had been hell getting to this point. My ovaries just didn't like producing eggs, and if I didn't get pregnant this time, I didn't know if I was strong enough to go through the treatments again. I looked to Jeff. Well, we said our line in the sand was 2. The most we could handle was 2 babies at once. Do we risk it? I asked, putting the ball in his court. Let's do it, he said, almost as if he knew my thoughts. That night, I gave myself the injection to release the follicles. 24 hours later, we had sex. Twice, for good measure. 6 weeks later, I was given a blood test. 4 more weeks later, we were in the doctor's office once again with my hoo-ha full of ultrasound probe, listening to the doctor say, I think we've hit the jackpot here. I see 2 and something else. To which I said, Dear God, let it be a tumor. And 8 months later, we officially became the parents of triplets and their big brother. 4 kids, ages 2 and under. From the very beginning, Jeff and I were in this together, but these were my kids, and I wanted to figure out how to manage 3 infants and a toddler on my own. I was stubborn and bullheaded and turned away extra help, except for when Jeff would offer to stay up at night and do all the nighttime feedings. Then I ran to bed, put earplugs in, and slept like a hibernating bear. Jeff and I come together as a team when needed, but most of the child caring falls on me. Part of my child care plan was to continue to work outside the home as an ICU nurse. I love my job, and it's important to me to keep working even after our family doubled. I have the best of both worlds. I get to be home with the kids the majority of the week, but I also get to leave the house and do something that I'm passionate about. Sure, I basically work to pay for daycare, but getting out of the house for 2 days a week, interacting with adults, and using my brain for something other than calculating how much formula to make in a day, that keeps me sane and, more importantly, happy. But on the 1 weekend a month I have to work, I barely see the kids because I leave the house before everyone is up and come home just as everyone is going to bed. People always ask me, who's babysitting the kids? Their dad? To which I scoff and say, no, he's not babysitting, he's parenting. One weekend, Jeff shocked me and decided he should take the kids to church. I hesitantly agreed with his plan, and since the kids were actually awake before I left for work, I laid out their Sunday clothes and did our daughter's hair. I also thought he might need the help. To be honest, I had my doubts that he would pull this off, because normally on a Sunday and every other morning, I'm the one that feeds the kids, gets them dressed, packs the snacks, dresses myself, all in the time it takes him to shower and dress himself. Later that day, I called Jeff to see how the morning went, and I found out that he not only successfully took the kids to church, but he also took them to visit his grandma in the nursing home and took them out to eat for lunch. I hung up the phone with him and I began to sulk. "What's wrong?" a coworker friend asked of mine. "Nothing, just in a bad mood," I replied. "Why?" she asked, probing for more information. "Oh, Jeff took the kids to church and to his grandma's and out to lunch and nothing happened," I answered. My answer was met with a blank look from my friend, so I went on. "He took the kids out, all by himself, and it was no big deal. All the kids behaved. There were no meltdowns, no peeing in the middle of the store aisle, no fighting, no begging, nothing. His outing went out without a hitch." My friend looked at me, not sure how to react. "And now he's going to give me that look," I said. "You know that look. The look that says, 'This isn't hard.' I hate that look." "So what did you want to happen?" she asked. "Well, for starters, I said they didn't have to get along so well without me. Maybe something could go wrong, like the kids pooping their pants, or one of them could have wandered off and sent Jeff into a panic. You know, the stuff that happens to me." My friend just looked at me. "You wanted him to fail?" "Well, no," I said. "That would be mean. But I don't want to have to go to church next week and hear from all the other women about what an awesome husband I have. I don't want them to have to tell me that he is super dad, or he should get a big gold star, or look at what he did while babysitting. He just took the kids out, something that I do almost daily. It's really no big deal. It's called parenting, and he can do it almost as well as I can." "So basically," she said, "you want a gold star too." "Yeah, where's my mother effing gold star?"